Hello YouTube, Byron at Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the Knife Channel. And today is Sunday, May 25th, 2025, the day before Memorial Day Monday. And I have an unboxing to do of a knife that I have been extremely excited for and waiting on the USPS to deliver it. But unfortunately, instead of being here Wednesday, it went on to Minneapolis from Indianapolis, and then decided they had the wrong Annapolis, shipped it back, and I got it in Saturday. So instead of being one of the first 3 or 4 channels to show this knife, I think I'm now like maybe number 12 or 13. Haven't watched any of those videos because I didn't want it to bias my opinion or my view on this knife, which I am extremely excited to go check out. One, because it is a 4-inch long blade, actually longer than that, and I like the bigger knives. And number 2, this is from Ray Laconico, and it's kind of outside his design realm, but he stepped out to do a bowie design. This is the Kansept Bison, and this is one of 8 different configurations. This has a 4.26 inch long S35VN blade. And this is both the blackwashed blade and the blackwashed titanium with a frag pattern milling design. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at it. Now, normally you get these boxes from Kansept. It's a 2-part box. You open up the lid and you will get a white envelope that has all of your warranty and paperwork and care instructions for the knife. We'll set that off to the side. It comes with a nylon pouch, usually some troll candy. We'll set that off to the side. And then inside normally is a knife that's wrapped in a plastic bag. And this one is no different than the Shikari, which I unboxed from them almost 5 years ago. And it is the last knife that I know that they did with a 4-inch blade. Let's take a look at this. So this is the Kansept Bison. And right off the bat, I am extremely impressed for what I got for the price tag. All right, so again, a blackwashed 4.25 inch blade of S35VN, thumb stud deployment only, no flipper tabs, no holes. Maybe you can reverse flick it, but that's a pretty shallow blade. Thumb stud deployment only. Now, that might turn some folks off along with the overall size, but I enjoy this deployment method. And more importantly, I just like the overall look and design of this knife. And maybe that's what struck me. I saw this and said, you know, this is outside of Laconico design, and it's not a thin, sleek, elegant blade or handles that are all rounded and chamfered. But it kind of is. It's kind of a bowie knife that's been Laconicoized, right? I mean, a little sleeker, chamfers on the corners, elegant but textured construction with what they're calling a frag pattern, but I'm going to call that a micro knurl pattern that's been put into both sides of this knife, both in the pocket clip and the lock bar, and the pile side of this knife handle, and then also along the entire show side, other than up around the pivot. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. Thumb stud deployment. Oh, nice detent. Snaps out with authority. So there you go. You can see the sabre ground, but flat ground up 2/3 of the knife height. And then you have that ground swedge, and that's on both sides of that bowie Persian up-tip style blade. And there's the other side. Now, thumb studs on both sides, so if you are left-handed, you could operate it that way. Now, if we look at the pocket clip, there are no screw holes for the pocket clip, so it's only a right side carry, right-handed carry for the pocket clip. But you do at least have a dual thumb stud on this. Now, this was designed with a both top and bottom crossguard to protect your handle from going up into the blade when you are using it for, say, a pokey or penetrative cut. All right. It is more of a fighting design style knife, and so we don't have any jimping up on the spine or up on the clip as far as doing any kind of utility cuts. It's really not the style of the knife. And so there's no jimping up there. The designer doesn't want you to reach up across that cross guard. That is there for your protection of the use of the knife. Now I can see where some people are not going to like that aesthetic or that design feature, but that is the overall concept of this knife. And so I like the fact that he held to that aspect of the design of a bowie knife. All right, let's turn it over, take a look at this side again. Now, lock bar, you've got about a 40% lockup on that lock bar to the back of the knife blade. You have plenty of access to that, but now that lock bar is not jimped, okay, doesn't protrude very much, but I've got plenty of area to get in there, drop the knife onto the edge of my thumb with that flat and sharpening choil, and then drop shut action from there on. Yeah, completely smooth drop shut action on that blade. In fact, that is so drop shut that you're going to want to make sure you got your thumb up at that flat. I would not move your thumb back too fast trying to drop that blade or it's going to bite. But a nice, smooth drop shut action on that. Nice detent. Snaps out with authority on the deployment. All right, now if we look at the blade on one side, at the base of the blade, it says Ray Laconico and Bison on this side. And if we flip it over, we've got the Kansept company logo. We have S35VN steel, and it's got the model number for the knife. Kansept's model number for that. Overall specs, very quickly, we're looking at a 9.61 inch long knife overall with a 4¼ inch long S35VN blade. The blade thickness is 3.5 millimeters stock or 0.137 inches. Again, we got a Bowie style clip point blade, little Persian upswept action on that sabre flat ground with a swedge grind, and a blackwash finish for both the blade and the titanium with that frag / micro knurl texture. All right, let's go ahead and do a real quick size comparison. My latest purchase before this Bison was also a large modern folder, and this is the Off-Grid Knives Stinger XL with what they're calling a drop point blade. I'm going to call it a flat ground spear point, but jimping up on the spine, also an over 9-inch blade. Now let's go ahead and line up pivot to pivot, and you can see that basically has the same size handle and inner grip for a handle length, but that Bison Bowie blade is a 1/4 inch longer at 4¼ inches. So a bigger knife than the Off-Grid Stinger XL. Didn't think I would have a larger knife this quick in a while back in the collection, but I am glad I was able to get this version. Now, at the time of filming on this video, this version out of the 8 was in low stock. So if you're looking to get the all blacked out version, you may want to order from the U.S. warehouse and get that as soon as possible. But the other 7 options that look like they had plenty of stock, and this is a larger knife, so there are going to be some people that this is just going to be too big for their hands, too big to carry, and I get that. But for somebody that has larger hands looking for a bigger knife, wow, for the $200 price tag plus a typical discount, and like I said, Bees has got a 15% discount right now for the next 3 to 4 days. You could get this for darn around $165, $170, and that is a heck of a deal for this. So there you go, the Kansept Bison. A beautiful, elegant Bowie-style blade designed by Ray Laconico of all designers. I think he did a great job on this. All right, this is Byron from Splitting Slices saying, please split a slice with a friend soon. And actually, since it is Memorial Day where we celebrate and memorialize fallen soldiers, if you know any family members that are missing a loved one because of their service, maybe split a slice with them tomorrow. And until the next video, I want everybody, please, to take care.